Hello my friends, welcome back to the Pixel Art Shop. I'm Kyle McCoy, thank you for joining me, because today I'm going to go over what I consider to be the top 10 essential Perler bead colors. These are the colors I think will give you the most variety, and also come in handy for a lot of different projects. So if you're on a tight budget and want to get the most bead for your buck, hopefully you will find this video useful. And instead of counting down, we're counting up. So let's start with the absolutely number one most essential Perler bead color, neon striped green. I'm just kidding. It's black. Black is in almost everything. Something has an outline, it's black. Shadow effect, it's black. Old school arcade background, it's black. I think most Perler artists out there would agree that running out of black is a common problem, so honestly get as much as you can. You will use it eventually, trust me. Number 2, white. 99% of the projects I've made have white in them, and it's naturally the lightest version of every hue. Take a look at the color wheel here. Every shade you can imagine, but if you lighten it enough, everything becomes white eventually. That's why it comes in handy, especially on my portraits. Red turns to orange, turns to yellow, turns to cream, turns to white. Dark blue turns to light blue, turns to pastel blue, turns to toothpaste, turns to white. Number 3, red. You're not going to be making any Marios without red. Also comes in useful for hearts, items, superheroes. You noticing a pattern here? So far, all of these colors have been in extra large drawers. That's how necessary they are. Know what else they have in common? Perler sells bags of 6,000 beads just to keep up with demand. I use these all the time. After all, black, white, and red were part of the original color palette for so many classic games. You know it's gonna come in handy. Am I really trying to justify buying red? It's red. It's a primary color. You know you need it. Although this next one might be a bit more debatable. Number 4, butterscotch. Hear me out here. Butterscotch can serve a lot of purposes. Remember I just mentioned those 8-bit Marios? Well, his skin tone is butterscotch. Same with the original Link in Legend of Zelda. Butterscotch is a great substitute for sand as a skin tone and can also replace Perler orange, which honestly I find to be a bit too bright to use most of the time. A good example would be Hank Scorpio's hair. Orange would have been almost neon looking on this guy, but butterscotch is more subtle and realistic. Plus, it acts as a great shading color for number 5, yellow. So look again at Scorpio. If you ever want a shade just darker than yellow, the ideal bead color is cheddar. But remember, this list is about making the most out of as few colors as possible, and butterscotch is so close to cheddar it should suit your needs. And of course, yellow is another primary color, great for stars, logos, Simpsons characters, the Triforce, Pac-Man, fireballs. Let's cool off with some blues. Number 6, light blue. You know we had to get some blue in the mix, and at last our simple palette is becoming pretty well-rounded. Finally, we get into some shades. Light blue. But what other choice did we have? We got dark blue here, and this is light blue. So where's regular blue? In my opinion, light blue is regular blue, and toothpaste is light blue. But it doesn't matter what I think, the names aren't changing anytime soon. And I like fun names like toothpaste anyway, so I want that to stick around. Number 7, bright green. The color of Mother Nature. Good for Ninja Turtles, the Hulk, Little Mac's boxing gloves, this guy named Luigi, grass, bushes. If you're doing any kind of outside scene, you're gonna need some green. And for that matter, probably a brown too. Number 8, light brown. Between the darkness of regular brown and the lightness of tan, light brown is a happy medium. It also gives you another level of shading, because you can go yellow, butterscotch, light brown. Good for darker skin tones, plus you can finish up those Marios I keep talking about. Number 9, purple. Because there's just no substitute for purple, guys. What if you're making the Joker, or Darkwing Duck, or Leela? You need purple. This isn't like painting. You can't just mix red and blue together. Oh my god, what have I done? And finally, number 10, toothpaste. Yes, it made my top 10. Because what if you're doing a piece that involves water and sky? You'll need 2 different blues. Same goes for Mega Man, and Ganon, and Sonic. Now remember, this list is just about giving you the most well-rounded palette I can while limiting it to 10 colors. This is my starting lineup if you want to have the most options while buying as little as possible. Of course, it doesn't include all the tans, the blushes, creams, perfect for some intricate shading. But we'll get to those another time. These are just what I personally consider the most essential colors for general use. Thanks for watching, guys. Do you disagree with my list? Would you swap out one color for another? Let me know in the comments. Honorable mention, gray.